Hi guys, so I'm coming with another video. Um mm, so I was saying I was maybe going to make a video about how to know if there's a ghost present or ghosts around you. I can't remember the word they normally use. I think they call them disembodied spirits or something. I can't remember. But sometimes the ghosts are like around you, like around your aura, or they're very close to you, or maybe they're even inside of you. Okay, so some visual signs would be scrying, but like it's kind of like scrying, but you're not trying to scry, you just kind of see human faces in things, like normal things you look at, different patterns that just look like a human face. So you'll sort of see it in the 3D. And then there's also kind of like a projection. It's almost like it comes from your own vision. It's like like how a projector, it like goes on to the wall and there's an image. So it's like an image from your own eye projecting, and then you might see someone's face or part of their face, part of their features. Sometimes they might communicate with you by so you'll maybe get projection, like if you were to do, I've never done it before at the moment, at least in this incarnation, but if you were doing the Ouija board, but sometimes it's like the Ouija board can be like from like a projection. You'll like see letters in a sequence, and then they make words, and then it makes a sentence. Sometimes it will be like a partial sentence. Sometimes it takes certain spirits like a few days to like tell you one sentence, to like for you to get the message. It will take some time. Another way is if you get symptoms, okay, if you get sick or something, or if you get really hot when it's not supposed to be that hot, and it's not that time of the month for you as a woman, or you're not going through menopause. And sometimes you might get really cold, you might even get very cold, and sometimes you feel like there's like something moving under your skin. Sometimes you can even like look at that part of your skin, and it's like you can see it like it's like moving, it's like twitching or whatever, or vibrating. Now, a lot of some cultures, when they start to experience something like that, they just assume that it's like their ancestors. So they decide that whatever spirits those are their ancestors, and they decide that they're going to get initiated, or that they're going to work with those spirits. But I think you shouldn't, because like I'm saying, just because a spirit is possessing you and causing you to have certain experiences doesn't mean it's your friend or your family or familiar. It could just be your enemy, okay? So what else do I want to say? So that was the visual part and the physical part. Sometimes you'll feel their symptoms, whatever symptoms they were having or whatever pain they were feeling at the time when they were dying. You can also use tarot cards or a Ouija board if you want to communicate with them. But like I'm saying, some of these, in my experience, a lot of these spirits, for me personally, the ones that have come to me, they tend to be like enemy spirits. Okay, they tend to be people that haven't been doing good things. Okay, and another way to see spirits is they could look like real people just going about their business. But one of the differences is usually a spirit is like they are in a certain time, like maybe they are in a certain 5 minutes or a certain hour doing a specific thing, and they just tend to do the same thing over and over again. So you might like hear them doing something, maybe their job that they used to do, but you don't see anything. But it'll be like a repetitive sound of their job. If they maybe died together or something, or maybe they died in like one after the other, but they were always working together. Sometimes they'll be like in that kind of time, I can say a time warp or whatever, I'm not sure. I like when the time is repeating and people are just doing the same repetitive thing, because we humans, that's kind of like the difference between humans and spirits, is we can move from place to place at will, and we can also we can change what we're doing. We move in with the time, like we have like a tomorrow. Spirits, they're like stuck in the same time, stuck in the same place, and sometimes the only way they get to move around is by possessing your vessel. So just be careful. And another can I say risky times when spirits are very active would be after midnight. Okay, so just be very, very careful after midnight. Yeah. Sometimes they can be active during the day, but usually, mostly, you could have encounters with them after midnight. Okay, and then hearing, you can. So if there's like ringing in your ear, also if your eyelids jump, or that's also one way to know. And like I'm saying, and I want to repeat again, doesn't mean that they are for you or they're coming to help you, that they're your ancestors or whatever. Okay, because if you feel you had good ancestors, like someone in your family passed and they were really good to you, most likely they went to heaven. Most likely they pass on, they reincarnated. They're not gonna like be bothering you, especially if they were passed away long ago. Okay. So what else did I want to say? So ringing in the ear, and then also for voices, yeah, you can hear them, especially like at night. So after midnight, it could also be early morning. like up until like 5 a.m. you could hear them. Usually they wanna wake you up or whatever. And a lot of the time some spirits anyway, I'm not gonna really go into that because I'm also mindful what kind of people are watching or listening to my videos. Not everyone is a friend. Okay, I think a lot of the times when you're on social media, the people that consume your content are not your friend. It's like some people are just I don't know. It's usually people that don't like you, that they just become obsessed with your content and what you're posting and what you have to say, and people wanna use whatever you say against you. So so my lesson, I wanna like the lesson I want you to take away is that not all spirits that are around you are gonna be good spirits, okay? So another way that you know, especially if a spirit has possessed you, okay, if they're in your body, besides like making you sick or making you feel certain symptoms, is for instance, if you well, some of them can give you headaches or whatever, and some of them, like let's say you are used to, like if you had a certain number of drinks and you're used to like just maybe being a little, just feeling a little nice, little tipsy, but like if maybe you drink less than that and you get really drunk, that's also a sign. Okay, so yeah, so just be mindful. Oh, another sign is if your voice gets a little cracky, or just if the timbre doesn't really sound like you, especially if you're a woman, if you normally have a sweet voice and then suddenly it's still your voice but it's a little throaty or something, that's also another sign, okay? And that's also why it's so important to be mindful of what you say. Don't always say certain things, because you don't know what kind of spirits are leading you to say certain things. And then sometimes also on the positive side, sometimes we do have like good spirits, like angelic spirits that are around us, that are protecting us, that are helping us, but you know, sometimes it's a mystery. You don't know like who's who, what's what, who's with you, who's against you. So be mindful. So tomorrow maybe I'm going to talk about the importance of having quiet time, of not just engaging verbally with people, namely because like if you maybe in a sometimes everything that you are saying for a certain time, or for whatever spiritual reason, or maybe you know, you're just in that mode where whatever you're saying, your prayers, your emotions, they're just going straight to the divine. So if you if you know, if someone just suddenly greets you or wants to talk about, you know, something unrelated or maybe something negative, and then it's like disturbing your communications with the divine, So being quiet is also so important. I think sometimes being quiet is more important than even praying, because we also need to listen to those those spiritual messages that want to pop into your mind. And so there's a lot of spiritual attack, and the way a lot of us are being spiritually attacked is just everyday things, like someone forcing a conversation on you, a complete stranger insisting on greeting you and you greeting them, someone that interrupts you while you're just sitting in a meditative state, things like that. Because like the same way we like I'm saying, you could be possessed by an evil spirit, or maybe it was a human being, but maybe that human being was not a good person, and they are bound to go into a bad place, and maybe their little time here on earth, and that they have dwelling as a spirit, they're just trying to do mischief. So sometimes those spirits are possessing other people, and controlling other people's actions, and making other people do little negative things to you, and disturbing your little me time with the divine. Okay, so just be mindful. Okay, because these days the devil is very cunning. Okay, the devil has always been cunning, but I feel like maybe a lot of us we kind of have been taking for granted just how cunning the devil can be. Like I've been so shocked how evil the devil can be. Okay, because maybe the reason we don't realize how evil the devil is because we've just been focusing on how strong God is and how God protects us, but the devil is so evil, and the devil is like the wolf in Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, pretending to be a good person in your life, pretending that they're going to help you, pretending to be vulnerable. That's very scary about the devil. A lot of the times the devil doesn't just come out like a big bad wolf from the beginning. They start out as your friend, your family, a helpful neighbor, a concerned friend, whatever. And then down the line, they put you in a worse position or in a worse state than the one that they helped you out of. Okay. So yeah, so that's also why so I did, when I was sleeping on the street and I had no place to go, I did have some people offer me a place to stay, and I did refuse. And I was right in refusing, because people that sometimes they help you because later on they want to extort you. Like they'll help you with something small, and then they will ask you for many small things that add up to a lot, and then it becomes like a financial burden on you, and they just won't let you have boundaries. So I've had a lot of bad experiences with people that were seemingly helpful in the beginning, and then they turned out to be monsters and extremely evil towards me. So that's so that's why I'd rather just be like have nothing and just work my own way out of my situation, and help myself through commerce, just working and making my own bread. So because the devil usually comes when you're so vulnerable. Okay, that's like they're in. Okay. So yeah, so even if you're an adult, don't talk to strangers. I remember when I was much older, I was like 20, I think I was 24 years old. This one time I went for a job interview. I took public transport, but it was an industrial area, and I had to walk a long way from the main road. And I was a little lost. I wasn't really lost, but I was like, like looking around, reading the street names, looking at the name of the place, whatever. And then this car came, and this man's like, hey, are you lost? Can I help you? I get in the car. So I got in his car, and then next thing, he's like, oh, where you going? Yeah, I'll drop you there. I know, I'm on my way there. And then the next thing, he's started like touching my thigh, and I was like, hey, luckily his car didn't have child lock, because nowadays cars have child lock, and you'll be so stuck if the driver doesn't want to let you go out. So I opened the car door while it was driving, and then I was prepared to throw myself out of the car. And then, well, he stopped, and then that's when I learned my lesson, not to accept help from strangers. And just because you're an adult now, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't still live by whatever your parents taught you about not trusting strangers, etc., etc., etc. Because a lot of times when we become adults, we just want to throw away all the things we've learned, all the little rules we used to live by, and then we end up learning the hard way, that there was there was some like logic behind certain things that we weren't supposed to do, and we probably should still not do the things that we shouldn't have, so you shouldn't be doing certain things anyway, no matter how old we get, because no matter how old you get, you can still be vulnerable. There's still evil people. Sometimes, like, especially if you're a woman, you'll still be petite, and you'll still be small, and like, you'll still be at a risk, and you'll be vulnerable whenever you're dealing with like some huge 6 foot big man, whatever. So that was just a little little thing. So I will see you tomorrow, and then we'll discuss why you shouldn't always open your mouth and talk to people all the time. Have some quiet time. Don't let people always intrude and invade your space, okay? Because you don't know what kind of spirits are inside or around them, and you don't know their personal intentions, and you don't know the intentions of the spirits. You don't even know what kind of like covenants people made with what kind of demons, or what kind of ancestors, or what kind of what kind of whatever, okay? So I'll see you. Ciao ciao.